good pair of boots and stick them on and go walking.
Y'all know that song, the boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. That's my friend.
So we want to talk this morning about being real.
Absolutely.
And how that goes. So I don't know, do we have our PowerPoint up yet, or is that something that can come up? Maybe not. Oh, we'll talk. Oh, wait, maybe get something. All right. Well, we can talk about it anyway.
We can talk about it anyway.
As Charlotte said, we wanted to share with you some ideas of what you can do if you find yourself in a spot that's where you're not really comfortable, whether it's really as intense as some of the stories we heard from China and Cheryl and Stephanie, or it's just like, man, how do I just get myself keep moving on with everything I have in my life? And be real is what came to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things that Charlotte always talks about is you gotta keep it real. I love that. You gotta keep it real. You gotta make sure you make it real. And so we wanted to put it out there to you today in a real way, using the word real and walking you through a pathway to be able to heal emotionally and to be able to heal and recover. We won't take back everything that the devil thought he stole and make sure that
So we do have out on our table in the back a little card that kind of steps through these 4 steps we're talking about. So if it resonates with you this morning, you can grab it and take it with you. Because when we're talking about being real, the first step is recognizing your reaction, recognizing your response, recognizing where you are.
Absolutely. The one thing that we tend to do is we tend to react. You know, the first thing, when somebody comes at me, I'm going to be defensive. I'm going to defend myself. Or if something is happening to me, I think reaction is the first thing. But the one thing that we gained, especially last night, and especially as we were preparing for this presentation, was being able to recognize those emotions. You know, going back and sitting with those emotions. What really was I feeling about this? That made me angry, or that hurt, that really hurt, or that really made me happy, or that really surprised me, or I was really frustrated, or that embarrassed me or shamed me. I gotta be able to recognize the emotions behind what has happened to me. I gotta figure out what is my emotional response, and becoming emotionally aware. Because when we become emotionally aware, we're able to cope with what has happened.
Because a lot of times our responses are just knee-jerk, or we're not thinking about it a lot, or it's a very practiced way of responding. And it may be a great way. It may serve you really well, but it may not. And if it's not serving you well, then that's something we need to kind of look at.
Absolutely.
So recognizing your response, your emotional response, is kind of the first step in being real. Oh, I think we're kind of, all right. It's such a pretty PowerPoint we wanted you all to see.
Absolutely. The one thing, that we always do, the one thing that I know that we usually do is we'll go after somebody. If something happens, I'm going to cuss you out, I'm going to respond to you in that way, or I'm going to come at you, or I'm going to laugh about it. Yeah, I'm going to tower down and retreat. I'm not going to, do anything, or I become speechless. Those are responses. Those are behavioral responses. And after all of that, I said, after I get through crying about it, after I've already talked about it, after I done beat you up about it, whatever my response is about it, I have to be able to be able to go back and take a look at me and see really what was really going on. Now this is an after fact. When we talk about dealing with this, we're talking about the after the event. After the event has happened, then I have to be able to recognize my emotions, really how I'm feeling about that, so I can appropriately deal and cope with that.
So once we recognize, then we get to kind of look at our next step, which is, we're calling it evict, energize, or empower. So when we look at how we react, I hope I'm not the only one that has this, but I got a lot of inner voices going on inside my head, right? So what's happening there with these voices? What is part of that emotional response? Is that inner voice, and these voices are there and they they serve us in certain ways. You know, that it could be that inner cheerleader or the inner warrior princess. You know, it's going to just be there. You know, they can be really positive voices. But then we also can have those things like the inner critic, the judge, the bully who's trying to shame us into things, or that wounded self. So we need to look at like which voice is the strongest voice. And if it is your inner cheerleader or your warrior princess, energize and empower that voice. Like give her strength to just continue to lead in your life. But if you find, like for me, when I get into situations that make me nervous, all my fears come up. And so my little inner voice of self-doubt, you're not good enough, you can't do this, what if you get up there, what if you fail, what if you do that? If that's the voice that's dominating me in that moment, that's my perspective I'm going to see. So I need to say, all right, little one, you know, all right, I get you telling me there's something in your but maybe it's time I need to kind of evict you to the back, pack your bags, put your boots on, and just march to the back a little bit. So that's, I think, what we're kind of looking at is evict the one that's not really serving you, is that voice that's making you feel small or scared, and energize and empower that ones that really help you to lead strongly.
Absolutely. When we recognize that inner dialogue and see what's all going on, really recognize what's going on inside and internally in what we're thinking, it helps us to be able to reprocess it and kick that one that's not serving us in a good way, in a positive way. Move that one onto the back. That is so critical in being able to heal. A big part of that is understanding is the internal dialogue, and especially if it's negative, it's on a negative stream, it's a negative dialogue that's going on, to be able to move that negative and move it and evict it and empower the positive dialogue that needs to move to the front.
And spend a little time, like, look at your inner voices. Who's there? Name them. You know, I mean, like, mine is, I have a school mom like that, you know, uptight little, pointing fingers and stuff. Like, she's mean. I don't like her. But, you know, like, figure out who it is for you. Name them, and then evict, energize, and empower the ones you want.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next thing we want to take a look at is to be able to adopt what we call a positive attitude. I need to be able to adopt some things that will help me to be able to move forward.
So the first one we think when you're trying to adopt a positive attitude is perspective is everything. It's really, you know, how you view the world is going to affect how your body feels, how you present to the world, what's there. You know, Charlotte said earlier about how we look at somebody, and I think it made me think of Jesus saying, we look but we don't see. Right? So when we look at one of our sisters and we're just making a judgment outside, I'm not seeing her, I'm not seeing what's inside. And I can do the same thing to myself. You know, if I'm not really looking at that, so my perspective of how I'm going to kind of look at the world is so important. And that's where we work on those energizing and things there. And I gotta see my next. Oh, drawing on your past successes. So here, like when you're struggling and you're in a place where you're feeling really down or you're not sure what you can do, have you gone through something before? Have you succeeded in something? Look at that. Say, I've done this. I've made it through this. I can do this next thing. I can do that. And you know what? If you don't have that, if you can't find it, if you're in such a dark place, you can't see anything good, look to your sisters. Think about these 3 stories that we heard, what China shared, and Stephanie and Cheryl. Think about what inspired you in that. They made it through. How did they do it? That's the inspiration. Draw on those successes to know that you can change your perspective.
Yeah, that is so critical, especially when we're trying to move forward. Another thing is, don't compare yourself to somebody else. Like, we're so busy comparing ourselves. I always tell the story about the apples and the oranges and the watermelons. And I think about those fruits. And it's like, what if those fruits go back to God and say, well, why did you make me an apple? Why did, I don't have as many seeds as the watermelon. Why couldn't I be a watermelon?
Say it, sister.
Saying, why did you shape me this way? Why is my shape a little bit wider? How come I'm not long like the watermelon? And a lot of times we look to each other to compare ourselves with, when really we should look to our Creator and say, I like the way you made me. I appreciate the way you You want to use your faith in order to help you to move through. How do we use our faith? One of the things that God has given us that is so powerful is the power of the breath. Our breath is so powerful. And if you think about it, when he created us, the Bible says that he blew into our nostrils and man became a living soul. He blew breath in us. So the breath has the ability to help us to be alive. Guess what, sisters? I've gone through hell and back, but check me. I'm breathing, baby! I'm breathing, and because I'm breathing, guess what? I'm alive today. I made it today. And then one of the other things about our faith that I love so powerfully, especially when you think about who we are, how powerful we are. We're so powerful that when we take a step, everybody just stomp your foot. Just take a step. When you take a step, guess what? Take a step. There's so many of us in here. We can make a more powerful step. Just stomp your foot. Guess what? The earth remembers your footprint. Oh, come on, somebody. The earth itself remembers your footprint. So when you're taking some steps, the devil needs to know, she just got up again today. I thought I had her yesterday. But guess what? She just took a step. And guess what? When the earth catches it, everything around the earth will use itself to sustain you, my sister. Oh my God. You are more than what you think. You are a powerful force in motion. Take a step, my sister. Let the earth know that you know who you are. And no devil in hell can stop you from becoming who you need to be.
So we're there. I mean, if we are made in the image of God and we have the breath of God inside us and we can step in the first, come on, we can, this is it. So when we're talking about this and are adopting that positive attitude, affirmations are so important. That's the other part of the 50A is live your affirmations. Things, our negative perspectives of things are, if that's what you lead with, it's because it's been practiced. It's because it's something that we've done over and over again.
Absolutely.
So when we change it with the affirmation of I am strong, or I am a child of God, or I can overcome, or whatever my affirmation is, you can't say it just one time. Okay? That's like going into the gym and picking up a dumbbell and doing one dumbbell curl and saying, I got it, my biceps are done. Right? You gotta have the repetition. So you have to say it over and over. Stick it up on your mirror. Put it up there. Put message it up. Put it on your phone. Read it. Say it. And it may not feel real at first.
Right.
But it's going to, when you practice it, it's going to be there.
I know one of the things that helped me so much last night, I shed my tears with my sisters sitting on this floor in here as Charlotte was telling us to really take a look at ourselves and really face that person in the mirror. Really look at her and if there's some flaws, she said flaws and all. We're going to take ourselves flaws and all. But then once I get past my flaw, I start looking at my strength and seeing when I find out and discover what I possess, then I can start affirming something different. Can we get a different viewpoint of ourselves to say that I am strong, to say that I am powerful, to say that I am beautiful, and not just practice it when we come here for Power Tank Sale, but it becomes everything that we do every day of our life so that we might be able to
Practice it. Repeat. And if you can't find it in yourself, pull one of your sisters. Have them help you. Let them give you something to work from and to build on there, which takes us right in it. Where we are.
So the first thing we want to do, we want you to stand on your feet.
Stand up. Come on,
So the first thing we want you to do is to grab your sister. Grab a sister and just hug her.